All right, thanks for tuning in once again. Happy holidays. We're approaching the holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. Thank you for joining the St. Louis American. I'm Ishmael Sistrunk, Melvin Moore, and we got a holiday special for you. So today we're going to do a little bit of a recap. We're going to talk about the 12 greatest gifts in sports in 2019. So Melvin, without further ado, I figure we just jump into it. But first, I say that, I'm a little bit jealous. I see you got your holiday swag on, you got your Christmas hat going on. I'm here, no hat. So I got a little surprise here. I got to break out. I gotta represent. So we're talking about a lot of national sports, right?
Indeed.
But really my number one is a local. So if you look here, you see Lutheran North celebrating the state championship in football. First state championship since 1999. Shout out to Lutheran North football team for winning that state championship. So had to put on my hat too so I could match, have a little holiday swag with you.
There you go.
But after that, let's jump right into it. The 12 greatest gifts in sports for 2019. What you got, Melvin?
Okay. Well, I'm going to start on the other end. Number 12 of the 12 greatest gifts of sports in 2019. We're going to go with Tiger Woods.
Okay.
Winning the Masters, his fifth. Everybody had kind of counted him out. And as a burgeoning golf fan myself, it was enjoyable to watch him put on the show and show that he still has greatness left.
Yeah. A lot of people counted Tiger out, but it was big to see him come back in 2019.
Most definitely.
All right, so number 11 for me, and again, this is greatest gifts. It doesn't necessarily mean greatest moments.
Right.
I'm going to go with Magic Johnson.
Okay.
Magic Johnson pulled the SpongeBob on the Los Angeles Lakers. Back in April, he said, I'm going to head out. He didn't consult with Jeannie Buss.
Indeed.
He didn't consult with anybody on the team. He just met with a pool of reporters and said, you know what? I'm out. So Magic Johnson, the way he left, giving the SpongeBob, that's my number 11 moment. Greatest sports moment in 2019.
That's impressive. That's impressive. I got to say, I enjoyed every second of that.
Right. Absolutely.
All right, moving on. We're going to go to number 10, greatest sports moment in 2019. I'm going to have to go with USA Women's Soccer.
Yes.
Winning the World Cup. They defended their title. They beat the Netherlands, I believe it was. And with soccer coming to St. Louis pretty soon, it's definitely a great thing for us to see and experience. And if you've never had a chance to watch international soccer with people of other cultures, man, I tell you, I got to watch the World Cup on TV, not at the actual game, but in another country, and it was phenomenal. Like, the energy is unbelievable. So I'm looking forward to soccer coming.
Yeah, shout out to the women's team. Women's soccer is huge. They've always been, a dominant figure on the international scene. Like the men struggle a little bit, but that was big, and I enjoyed watching that World Cup moment. Yeah. All right, so what are we at? Number 9, I believe. So the 9 greatest gift in sports in 2019. We'll go with another interesting one. I'm going to go with Zion Williamson. There's no college basketball game bigger than Duke versus North Carolina, and Zion Williamson bust through his shoe in that game. It was one of the most memorable events in 2019. Was going to a cut, bust through his Nike shoe. We all saw that shoe. That shoe ended up getting auctioned off, I think, for like $100,000, $150,000, some crazy amount. So Zion now, of course, is with the Pelicans in the NBA. He's had some other injuries, so he hasn't suited up yet. But Zion, that was like a Bo Jackson moment, like a Paul Bunyan moment, just one of those moments that will put him down in sports lore forever. So Zion Williamson busting through his shoe, I think that was a great gift to sports.
I agree.
So Melvin, back to you. What's the number 8 greatest gift in sports in 2019?
Well, I'm going to go with one of the greatest sideshows I've seen, not only in 2019, but in sports, period. Okay. And that's Antonio Brown.
Yes.
The whole saga. In the span of 13 days, he went from one of the worst teams in the NFL to one of the best teams in the NFL and then out of the NFL altogether. So the timeline, he's with the Raiders on September 7th. He says, I don't want to be here anymore. And they let him go.
Acted a plum fool.
Right. Within 3 hours, he signed to the Patriots. What is that? Craziness. Plays one game, and amidst off-the-field conduct, some allegations of sexual impropriety, all of a sudden he's out of the NFL again. And it's crazy. The tweets and the whole, all the interviews, it just made for must-see TV.
Yeah. And it honestly, it made me wonder if he's having any type of CTE issues because his behavior was just so erratic. And now he's coming back and seems like he's trying to play in the NFL again. Yeah. But yeah, that was just a crazy whirlwind. So yeah, Antonio Brown, not sure what happened, but we hope you get it together, brother. Seriously.
Yeah, get some help, man. Right. You got enough money for
it. Right. All right. I guess that goes back to me for number 7. Greatest gift in sports in 2019. And I'm going to go with another fallen sports figure, albeit in a different way. We saw 2019, we saw the Golden State Warriors fall. They were on top of the NBA pyramid, and we just saw a devastating fall. So Kevin Durant, of course, he got injured in the playoffs, and then he subsequently left to go to Brooklyn. We saw Klay Thompson injure his knee in the playoffs. We saw Steph Curry at the start of this season break his hand. We saw Draymond Green's been in and out the lineup. So literally the Warriors have gone from the best team in the NBA to now they have, I think they're tied for the worst record in the NBA. So I think it's just a stunning fall to see this team that, you know, was breaking records, was being talked about being the greatest team of all time. And now they're at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, I agree. It just kind of ended a dynasty.
Right.
You knew it had to happen at some point in time, but you just didn't see it kind of going up in flames so fast.
Right. It was just instant. Like Thanos just snapped his finger and literally the dynasty disappeared.
He snapped his finger and then players' parts started snapping.
Right.
That's crazy. But, I mean, I think it's good for the NBA overall because we've had one of the most interesting seasons starting off. I mean, the Lakers are 19-3. The Clippers, you have two of the best teams in the NBA playing out of the same building right now. That's crazy.
Yeah. The number 6 greatest gift in sports from 2019, I'm going to go with the year of the black quarterback. So this isn't just one specific event. But the whole year, when you look at Patrick Mahomes, MVP of the league, black quarterback, did his thing. When you look at Russell Wilson, who became the highest paid NFL player, I think he's making 35 million a year, made 79 million overall in between endorsements and his contract. And then you look at Lamar Jackson, who's tearing it up this season. He just broke Michael Vick's rushing record for a quarterback. And I'm pretty certain that he's going to be the MVP of this current season. So 2019 was really the year that black quarterbacks just took over. I mean, we've always had some great ones. You had Warren Moon, you had Randall Cunningham, you had Michael Vick, who I just mentioned. But now black quarterbacks really have taken that position to a new level.
And it's an impressive thing to watch because, you know, over the years they've always said that, you know, black quarterbacks are more athletic, but they're not cerebral. They're not stay in the pocket. They don't necessarily run the plays. They kind of shoot from the hip. And they're disproving all of that right now, man. They're showing that we can do whatever we want and do it better than everybody else.
Yeah. It sucks that Colin Kaepernick can't be a part of that. Still shame on the NFL for that. But it's nice to see his contemporaries just showing up and showing out.
We'll take him in St. Louis on our NFL team. Give him all the money. Come on, man.
Right. So what about you, Melvin? Takes it back to you for number 5.
Let's see. Number 5, I think I'm going to go with fair play. A lot of people are saying, what is fair play? That was a bill that was signed in California, getting the ball rolling for college athletes to be able to make some money off of their likeness, being able to be endorsed with different companies. And it's a topic that we talked about earlier this year. Right. How, you know, the NCAA makes a ton of cash off of these guys. And a lot of times they don't even have money to eat. So it's about time, and it's not it's not going to kick in until 2023. So there'll probably be a lot of tug of war back and forth on exactly how it rolls out, but at least a step has been done, and the bill was signed on LeBron James' show, The Shop.
Right. Yeah, doing it big. About time they got a piece of that bag. So
Definitely.
Shout out to the college athletes.
Definitely.
All right, that takes it back to me, number 4. So there's no secret about who my favorite NBA player is. We know. Number 34 for Milwaukee, Giannis Antetokounmpo. So a big moment for me as a Giannis fan was him winning his first MVP at age 24. So last season, Giannis averaged 27.7 points, 12.5 rebounds, 5.9 assists, 1.5 blocks, and 1.3 steals. But more importantly, he got 60 wins. He led the Milwaukee Bucks to the best record in the Eastern Conference and was named MVP. So shout out to Giannis Antetokounmpo for winning that. The good news is right now he's exceeding a lot of those averages. He's putting up 30.9 points a game, 13.2 rebounds, and the team is on pace to win over 70 games. Now, will they do that? Maybe not. But I think Giannis really can get his second straight MVP award. So shout out to Giannis for really breaking out in 2019.
Oh yeah, he's definitely leading the conversation right now. And what I liked about the way he's implemented his game is they exploited one of his weaknesses in the playoffs, and that's his ability to shoot the jumper. And already this year, he's shown that he worked on it all off season, and he's made his game better. He's hitting threes. I think he had 3 or 4 threes in the last couple of games he's had. And it's like that weakness is now out the door. You can't just leave him open and try to play more of his own. He's killing the game.
Greek freak, getting at it.
Yeah, most definitely.
So Melvin, goes back to you for number 3. Greatest gift of sports in 2019.
Let's see. Number 3. I think this could go either way. I kind of want it to be a little higher, but I'm going to go with the Blues winning the Stanley Cup. How about that?
Blues.
They started the season out kind of rough. It was a little shaky, but man, they came back and they showed what they were made of, man, and brought a championship to the city, man. Salute to the Blues.
Yeah, salute to the Blues. That first championship, like you mentioned. The victory parade downtown brought over 500,000 people. I mean, it was just nuts out there. People everywhere, whatever way you look. I've been to one game this year. I'm going to try to get to a couple more, so maybe the Blues could run it back also.
There you go.
That takes me to number 2. Number 2 greatest gift in sports in 2019. And I'm going to cheat a little bit. We talked about the Patriots. We talked about Antonio Brown. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to go a little bit back into 2018.
Okay.
Last December, we saw a great fight between Deontay Wilder, the Bronze Bomber, and Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King.
Right.
And that was a great fight. We saw Fury was outboxing Wilder for a long period of time. Wilder caught up with him late with that great right hand. It looked like Tyson Fury was knocked out. But what do they say in church, Melvin? He got up. He got up and put on one of the greatest displays. It ended up being a draw.
Right.
But that fight really put the heavyweight division back on the map. Then you jump into 2019. You saw Andy Ruiz Jr., who didn't look like a boxer, looked like a professional eater more than a prize fighter.
Right. He
shocked the world, beat Anthony Joshua for the title.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see a rematch coming up soon between Wilder and Tyson Fury. We got to see Deontay Wilder also knock out Luis Ortiz, just knocked him out cold.
Yep.
So now the heavyweight division, for a long time, it had really kind of taken a back seat to the welterweights and the middleweights, but now the heavyweight division is back front and center. So shout out to Anthony Joshua, to Tyson Fury, and to the Bronze Bomber, and to Andy Ruiz Jr. Even though he lost in the rematch, he shocked the world and he put himself in the conversation. So the heavyweights are back in 2019 and going forward into 2020.
Oh yeah, for the longest, man, it was Mayweather all day, just watching the smaller fighters fight, and I miss the days of like Mike Tyson where cats would slug it out. The big guys are that way. The smaller fighters, usually it's more technical, they're gonna go 12 rounds. big guys, you know, you might not be able to get popcorn because you might. Right. So yeah, shout out to them and boxing being back. Yeah,
especially Wild. I think Wilder's the best of the bunch right now. He has some vulnerabilities, but their right hand is not one of them. So Merry Christmas to anybody that eats that.
Yeah.
So that brings us to number one, and I'm definitely interested because I did feel like the Blues would be number one. But take it over to Melvin. The number one greatest sports gift in 2019. What you got for us?
I have to say the NBA Finals. And I'm going to tell you why. We touched on it a little bit earlier. Basically, we saw the end of a dynasty. We saw a team from another country win the championship. That's new. We saw one of the top players in the game go out on top and then leave. Like, that's kind of unheard of, with Kawhi Leonard winning the Finals MVP and saying, all right, thanks, y'all. You know, and going to the Clippers, which is crazy. Like I said, it opened up the NBA again. There was such a bottleneck where first 2 weeks of the season, you already had, you know, the bets in Vegas were on, you know, whatever team LeBron was on, and, and the Golden State Warriors. Right. That was just it, and it was kind of, if you didn't root for either one of them, kind of left you out. Right. But now, man, there's so many good teams in the NBA right now. The talent pool is spread, and we got to see Kawhi Leonard pull some Houdini stuff. Like, normally, you know, your analysts will have inside rumblings and saying, well, we've heard this, we've heard that. The Clippers weren't even really on the radar. Right. And Paul George being included in the trade was not mentioned. Right. Like, just watching the way they pulled it off and made everything come together, it was impressive.
Yeah, that was absolutely nuts, because there was talk about Kawhi going to the Lakers maybe, or him staying in Toronto and then bringing some guys there. But the fact that they pulled that off, and the fact that Kawhi Leonard, who really had fallen to the back of people's minds, he had a lot of injuries when he was with the Spurs.
Load management.
Right, he had a lot of load management. So people didn't necessarily consider him amongst the elite of the elite, like they had in the past. But he came up, he showed out, he knocked my man Antetokounmpo out in the Eastern Conference Finals, and then he knocked the Warriors out in the finals. They had some injuries, but still, that altered the landscape pretty much forever in the NBA.
They were one injury away from the water boy getting to play. But we're not going to go there on this one. I will say, though, but I still say the finals because it started that ball rolling. Right. When that series was over, it was a lot of the balls left up in the air, and questions got answered over this last year that made the NBA what it is right now.
Yeah. That's what we got for you, the 12 greatest gifts in 2019 in sports. Let us know. Do you disagree? Do you have another gift that we missed out on? If so, hit us up on our YouTube page. You can comment below this video, comment on Facebook, all of our social media avenues. But Melvin, it's been great. It's been a pleasure to all of you. All right, so from the St. Louis American, Happy New Year!